All right, peace, brothers and sisters. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, give honor and praise to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov. Give a double honors to 7130 South Chicago that taught me this truth. Give a double honors to all the brothers and sisters that the Creator has awoken in these last days, brothers and sisters. With that being said, peace and shalom. All right, brothers and sisters, we're going to be dealing with part 2 of They Didn't Bring No Negroes to America. They brought the nation of Israel to America, brothers and sisters. It's because the reason why these lessons are important to our people is because our people have to have an explanation on why they're in the condition that they're in. See, like I said before, and you're going to hear me say this a whole lot, why are we still at the bottom as a nation of people? And what I mean by this, let's take this as an example. Let's look at the war that's going on over there in Ukraine, right? Ukraine is having a war. The United States is pulling billions of dollars into the country. We know that the reason why they're doing this is because they have a personal interest in the country. See, they're not going to put no money over there unless they trying to control something. But the point is being made, they're pulling billions and billions and billions of dollars into this country. And believe it or not, brothers and sisters, whoever controls over there in Ukraine, let's say that America wins the war over there, helping the Ukrainians fight against the Russians, which they not, but I'm just saying hypothetically. Let's say they win. America is going to put billions of dollars into the country to refix the country, to fix the educational system, to fix the leadership, the health, the economics, so that the country can be pumping again. And what I'm saying is that they can do the same thing for our people, brothers and sisters. We've been asking for what you would call reparations for a mighty long time. See? They promised the so-called black man 3 acres and a mule. See? This is what they promised us when we fought the war, when we fought the Civil War. They promised us this. 3 acres and a mule. And 3 acres and a mule is just basically to have some land, brothers and sisters, so that you can farm on. And the mule symbolizes what? Industry, so that you can do certain things on the land. So what is some of the mules that they use today? They using tractors, brothers, and they using machinery to cultivate the land, farm, and things of this nature. See, and we haven't got that yet. But see, this is far deeper than this. Well, we're reading from this book about these universities that have, quote unquote, these universities that know about the transatlantic slave trade, and they knew the names of these people that came over here in the slave trade, right? They can do something positive to do what? To re-usher these people back into society. They can put money behind those people. Do you understand that they're still paying the Jewish community, which are not the real people of the Bible, brothers and sisters? They still paying them, even to they're giving them reparations. That's how they able to stay afloat in the country. From a military standpoint of view, right? economics and religion. They fund those people. But they're not going to do that for you. Because why? It's not in their spirit to empower you. That's the whole point. So we have to learn how to empower ourselves, because we can't depend on the so-called white man to educate us. We can't depend on the so-called white man to empower us economically, educational-wise, leadership-wise, and health-wise. See, we got to stop depending on these folks. That's why we read in the 16th, let me read that again, the 12th chapter of the book of Revelation, the 16th verse. And it says, and the earth helped the woman. And what is the earth symbolic of? It's the creator. See, it's Yah. It's because the reason why the so-called black man is coming into the knowledge, and the so-called black woman is coming into the knowledge of self that they Israel, is because now the creator is opening what? Pandora's box. See? The Bible states that I'm going to do what? Unveil her thighs. It's because they set up an educational system that taught the black man that he was nothing. That he was a savage that lived in a jungle of a subhuman level. That our people was a race of nobodies. When we was on the plantation, we was picking cotton, they promised some of the slaves that they was going to free them. But when it was time to free them, they didn't want to do it. See? And look here, they still doing it today. And one of the freedoms that we're talking about is what? Reparations, y'all. But the man knows that we're not going to give you no reparations so you can live in this country. They understand that reparations goes to a nation of people. But let's say that they give you reparations so you can live in the country. That's a sense of empowerment. They don't want to do that. This is why we have to start to do what? We have to start to come back into the knowledge of self. But see, look, all of this stuff that I'm reading and stuff like that, it's up to the Creator to wake up our people. See, we're just planting seeds. So it says, and the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. Because the adversary is in the mindset of these people. See, because at a period of time, because when we're looking at the book of Job, that is symbolic of what? Of us as a nation of people, y'all. See, we was considered righteous before the Creator. But when we came to do the feast before the Creator, the adversary was there. It's because we joined the adversary in rebellion against the Creator. So the Creator was what? He was angry with the nation of Israel. So what did the adversary say? See, have you considered my servant Job? See, the reason why he's still following you is because you got a hedge on his head. See, you got a covering. But you take that covering off of him, what's gonna happen? He's gonna curse his maker. And this is why we going through all this nonsense. See? It's because when we came to do the feast before the Creator, what was found in us? It was found iniquity in us, brothers and sisters. See? We weren't right. So when it says, and the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood, which the dragon cast out. See, that's the educational system that was set up on us, man. The religious systems, the political systems. See, the social aspect of the system, how we interact with each other. All of that was designed during slavery to brainwash us as a people. But now the Creator is doing what? The Creator said what? Your slavery is over with. That's why the earth is helping us today, brothers and sisters, because slavery is over with for us. But we still in slavery is because why? We still laboring in slavery because the Creator hasn't really woken us up all as a nation of people. You got people still around here today, they still don't understand the basics of nationality. They still calling themselves negroes, colors, coon and shine. See, that's what's going on with us today. But let's look at this. Let's look at Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, brothers and sisters. America is a prison to us. See? But look, I know people personally that have been in prison for 6 and 7 years, 3 and 4 years, 20 years. They love prison. It's time for them. I know one guy personally, he said when it was time for him to get out, he didn't want to leave. See? Why? Why he don't want to leave? Because now he's gonna have to be responsible for himself. And that's what's wrong with us today. We don't want to leave America is because we're going to have to do for ourselves. See? Ain't no more public aid system. Ain't no none of this stuff going on over here. But we don't even understand that we can create something that's better than this system. We can create a system that's not going to be racist towards people. They're not going to judge a man just because of the color of his skin. See? So the Creator says, arise ye, depart, for this is not your rest. America is not our rest, brothers and sisters. But we have made it our rest via the transatlantic slave trade. Because it is polluted, and it shall destroy you. Ain't we destroyed here? See? We destroyed here. We got grown men sitting around talking about they want to go in a woman's bathroom and say, here, woman now. See? We have been devoured in the country. We got women want to go in the man's bathroom. See? Say she a man. The Republicans and the Democrats that's supposed to be the leaders of the country, they're supposed to represent the country, they at war with each other. And we caught up in it. We caught up in gang culture. See? We caught up in gang culture. We have been devoured in the country. It says, because it is polluted. The educational system is polluted. The religious system is polluted. The political system is polluted. See? Here it is, y'all talking about that y'all, we supposed to go by the Constitution of America. But here it is. They're trying to take away from you the Second Amendment. That a man have a right to arm himself. He has a right to preserve his life. They trying to take that away from you. See? And when the Constitution was created, they classified you and the so-called native indigenous people of the country, they classified us as what? 3/5 of a human being. You wasn't even a whole human being. And the 13th and the 14th Amendment to the Constitution has done nothing but do what? That is a part of the flood that the adversary put out to do what? To wash you away. It's because now the 13th and the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, we brainwashed. It's because now the so-called white man, he's hiding his racism. Because the Europeans under what you would call the Democrat and the Republican Party, now they can play what? Good cop, bad cop. But both of them what? They polluted. Y'all, they polluted. It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you. We've been destroyed in the country. The man don't want to be responsible and take care of his family no more. The women don't want to be responsible and take care of their family. We fighting against each other. Who's going to be more dominant in the relationship? See, this is what we talking about. Even with a sword destruction, see? So America is a prison to the so-called black man, brothers and sisters. And we have to, as a nation of people, the Creator said what? Come out of her, my people, and be not partakers of her what? Of her plagues. It's because a lot of the stuff, believe it or not, that's going on in the country, these kids coming downtown in Chicago, everywhere they coming down there, they causing disruption. Why is this stuff happening? It's because this is the plagues that the Creator is sending amongst the nation. It's because why? It's because of what they have done in history. They arrogant. Because the Creator empowered them, see? And He empowered them on the left-hand side to be the whipping stick for the nation of Israel. But they have become arrogant, see? They want you to bow down to them. They don't even understand why they empower themselves. So let's continue with the book. The Negro question, part 2. It says, what is unusual about the map that Emmanuel Bowen brought back to these two kings is that in the center of the map, Bowen shows the true names of the so-called slave coast was none other than the kingdom of Judah. And like I say, this is an overview of the map. This is in large, it's going to show a little bit of the scenery. And as you can see, let me get my pen. Right, one second. The KM stands for Kingdom of Judah. This is on an African map of 1747. Kingdom of Judah. Way down. Slave Coast. Abaya. Read down. So when you get the map from 1747 of Africa, you're going to see this. So with the movie Roots, which was a phenomenal movie during that time, but see, it just gave you a glimpse of who they was bringing over here. They brought the so-called they didn't bring no negroes over here. They brought Judah over here. Some of Levi and some of Benjamin. See, that's who they brought over here. This is who they was dehumanizing, y'all. See? Because, on them slave ships, they used to pack your behind with molasses and put corks in your behind. See? They was raping the women. Because why? The Creator took his hedge off of you. To see that you will curse your maker. But a lot of us in slavery, we still pray to the Creator to deliver us out of bondage. See? And we still going through the sores and the infections of slavery today. We dealing with what you would call post-traumatic stress syndrome. We destroyed as a people. And it's gonna take more than a hug and putting us back in our country. We need God, y'all. The Creator has to do what? The Creator has to do, he has to heal us. See? It's because we're diamonds and we're gold, but we've been made dross, y'all. We dirty. See? We dirty. We have to be clean, see? Because we polluted by the country. If we set up a system today, it's going to fall. It's because if we don't have the Creator in our consciousness, then whatever we set up in the earth, it's not going to stand. See? That's why we're in greater need, y'all, of the Creator. We're in great need of the Creator. That's the only one that's going to heal us. So it says on the map, like I said, this is the kingdom of Judah. We down, slave coast, Abaya, we down. These are some of the names that we was called. We was also called the Ashanti, the Fanta, the Yoruba, right? The Bantu, all because see, we scattered amongst these different nations, y'all. And what will happen to us is that we will start to adopt these people's culture, and we will start speaking their language. We'll start practicing their gods, because that's conducive to this scripture. Let's turn to it real quick. Let's look at Deuteronomy 28 and 36. No, 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations, whither Yah shall lead thee. And what does that mean? See, you're not going to call yourself Israel or Yisrael anymore. You're going to call yourself the Ashanti. Even though the term Ashan goes back to the book of Chronicles and the book of Kings. But see, these are some of the names that we're going to go by. The Bantu, the Fanta, see? Weedow, Iuda, see? All this type. But see, when the white man comes over there, the so-called white man, he knows who he's coming to get. It's because the Catholic Church, they're going to tell them. They already know this. They know your history better than you know yours. So it says right here, Judah was known by 4 different names at that time: Judah, Weedow, Quedow, and Abaya. We saw that on the glimpse of the map. What does this mean to those of us who have been in hot pursuit of the truth? It means that we have the proof from the royal map maker himself that Judah was indeed listed among the inhabitants of Africa. See, that's supposed to empower us, brothers and sisters. See, that's supposed to empower us. See, we much more than what society has deemed us as. See, the Creator, he really brainwashed the nations too. See? Because a lot of these nations that's in your neighborhood, they don't even know that you Israel. some of them brainwashed too, but we talking about the elites. The elites know who you are. See, this is supposed to empower us, brothers and sisters. That's why we reading this history. Or even greater interest is the fact that the maps were not disputed by the two kings. You would do well to take heed to the fact that the British laid claim to the so-called slave coast, and that its inhabitants were sold into the British colonies, and one being North America. Because you know that the founding fathers, they came from where? England, see? Britain, that's where they came from. How authentic is this map? So it says, Northwestern University authentic map of West Africa. It says, the University of Northwestern Evanston, Illinois has this map in their inventory and lists it as an authentic map. It says of West Africa, 1747 by Emmanuel Bowen. Even to this day, there is a fort there called the Fort of Judah. If you pull up the information online or at Northwestern University, this is what you will see. But I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, you don't even have to go there. But you can go there for educational purposes, but you can go right on Amazon and type these maps up, and it's going to pop up. It says, Northwestern University Libraries Map of Africa, excuse me, a new and accurate map of Negro land. See, it's going to give you the person that did it, right, and the size, you know, the map and things of this nature. This is in Northwestern University. So right here, this is Boston University, a cultural history of Atlantic world by John K. Thornton. You got to go get these books. Boston University, Cambridge University Press. On page 64 and 70, reference is made that the French had a director at Wedau, and that the French also had a trading post at Savy. See? Let me hold on one second. Let me get another book that we're gonna get also. 1 second. So you gotta get this book, Iuda. It's talking about Judah, social history of West African slave imports, 1747, 1892. So we were so-called free in the country in 1865, but they were still going to go get us, and past 1865, they were still doing this. See? So it says, we're going to continue to read. 1 second. The capital of Wedau, Judah. Did the writer know that the name Wedau was Judah? I don't know, but one thing is for certain, the Europeans seem to know where the Negro in the Americas and the Caribbean came from. Because what's going to happen to us, brothers and sisters, that we're going to do what? We're going to be scattered throughout the four winds. See? We're going to be scattered. It says, Louisiana State University, the ships that came from Judah. Now, this is a book. I have this book, but I don't have it on me. It says, there's a publication written in Louisiana State University, Creole, the New Orleans Race and Americanization by R. Hirsch and Joseph Logston. Louisiana State University Press, Baton Rouge in London. It says on page 67, it's on page 67 and 70 and 69 of this publication are the notes of a white slaver recalling the inventory of human beings on cargo ships. Let's see what he writes. He writes that 16 slave trading ships arrived from the Senegal region. 6 ships came from Judah and landed in the mouth of the Mississippi. And in 1731, 1 ship from Judah landed 464 slaves at the mouth of the Mississippi. Now, do you know that a lot of our parents that migrated from the south to the north, that they originally came from the Mississippi? See, and all throughout the south. See, because, you know, a lot of times we was escaping the south because of job opportunities and a lot of the racism that was going on in the country. But a lot of us that migrated from the north, we came from Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? We still got family members over there even to this day. It says on page 69, it states that the company of India had a trading post at Judah. So the Indonesians, or the people that call themselves the country over there in India, they did what? They had a part in the slave. All nations had a part of the slave trade, because you have to look at the slave trade as the same thing, brothers and sisters, as how the country buy oil, right? And some of the major people that sell oil is America and Russia, and now China is starting to sell oil too. See? So the nations come around and they buy oil from especially Russia and America. They buy their oil from them, right? That's what the European the Atlantic slave trade was, because all these nations, what they was doing, or the port that was over there in the Judah, see, is because who is the major one that's controlling the situation? It's the Roman Catholic Church. So they're allowing these countries to come to the west coast of Africa and to do what? To collect these slaves. Because why do they need the slaves? To build up their empires. They're not going to build it themselves. They ain't finna do that. Because a lot of them are not skillful in building. A lot of them wasn't even skillful in building certain things. They needed us. But you got a lot of these Negro preachers that sit around here and say that if it wasn't for America, we wouldn't have learned nothing. Do you understand that they was bringing the carpenters, they was bringing the brick masons, they was bringing the people that knew how to chart the star. They was bringing some of the prominent people in Israel over to America to be dehumanized and enslaved, brothers and sisters. See, they didn't bring no niggas to America, y'all. See, they brought the nation of Israel. See, a lot of our people, they were skillful people. They knew how to chart the stars. They was mathematicians. They was lawyers. They was this, that, and the third. That's who they brought over here. And they brought them over to America and Europe and scattered throughout, dispersed throughout the country to do what? To be exploited, brothers and sisters. They still exploiting you even to this day. So it says on page 69, it states that the company of India had a trading post at Judah, Gulf of Benin. Because when we're reading the 12th chapter and the 16th verse, or 15 and 16, how the serpent was wroth with the, I'm just paraphrasing, was wroth with the woman, and he cast out the water as a flood to wash up. What is that? That's the Roman Empire, aka the Roman Catholic Church. Because see, they're gonna allow these nations to grab hold of you. See? Because the Creator put us in their hand. See? They put us in Rome's hand. So these nations that comes out of Rome, they started doing what? They started to bite up every aspect of Africa and they put you in slavery. It says, the Company of India had a trading post at Judah, Gulf of Benin, excuse me. There it competed with all the nations of Europe. The Portuguese were taking the upper hand at Judah, Northwestern University, Boston University, and Louisiana State University have in its possession documents calling the slave coast of Africa Judah. If you won't believe me, surely you will believe academia, because that's the problem with a lot of our people. When we bring information, they gonna shun your information, but they not gonna say that to the Euro Gentiles. See, when they standing up with their kids and they proud of their kid because they got a degree of knowledge, they got the cap and gown on, right? And you know, and they acknowledging the fact that their kids graduated from high school and things of this nature, but don't even really understand that we're being brainwashed in this society. See? They don't question the history of the Euro Gentile. See? But when you try to bring them some type of history, they're going to have an issue with that. It says, I already read that. It says, aren't they supposed to be the caretakers of the truth? That's what academia is supposed to be. When they set up these universities, these colleges, do you understand that the colleges that's set up in the university is nothing but what? Slave schools, y'all. It's because Duke University, all these universities that were set up in the college were nothing but brainwashing systems that's going to teach you about, quote unquote, American history. And they're going to give you a song and dance about the American history. See? This is what's going on. And this is what we're involved in even to this day. This is why it's hard for us to leave America, y'all. Because, see, we can't see ourselves as nothing other than what? Negroes, coons, and shines. African Americans. And what these books are doing to us, brothers, and what it should do, it should empower us that we are a great people. See? That we don't come from a race of nobodies. So it says, you also have a town named Judah that was in existence before the Portuguese ever set foot on West African soil. So this is a picture of Port Town of Judah. It says, so named before the arrival of the European, right? So this is a picture of the Port Town of Judah, right? This was the slave port. That's why a lot of us, in our ignorance, we embrace these different religions, and we show our allegiance to these different religions. Like, you got a lot of us, these rich entertainers, they go over there to Mecca, and they walk around the cobblestone 7 times. See, this is where we need to be going. See? And why are we putting this stuff together is because, see, this is the gospel of the kingdom, y'all. This is the good news. See? What is a part of the gospel of the kingdom, brothers and sisters? That we Israel. See? We are the chosen people. Chosen for what? To bring forth righteousness and order on the planet. See? It says, the kingdom of Judah, slave coast, was controlled by the British, and all of these black Jews came pouring into the British colonies. The question that arises from the research is, how did these black Jews get to West Africa? And when it says, and when did they begin to arrive? The answer is hidden with Abraham of the Bible. Let's visit Abraham, right? So let's look at some, brothers and sisters. Let's turn to Genesis, the 15th chapter and the 13th verse, right? I'm going to read verses 13 and 14. It says, and he said unto Abram, this is the 15th chapter of the book of Genesis, 13 and 14 verse. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in the land that is not theirs. See? And this is the vision of our ancestor, Abraham. And see, look, you got a lot of brothers that sit up here and say that the Bible is a fairy tale book, but then when they get to talking, then they sit up here and say that that I speak to the ancestors. So if they can speak to the ancestors and they can say that the ancestor told them X, Y, Z, then we can go into the Bible and we can say that the Creator is telling us X, Y, Z just as well. So you're going to have a lot of people, especially your people, they're going to disagree with what you're saying, and that's perfectly fine. They can do whatever they want to do. But what I'm saying is that, see, they don't have no ground to stand on telling us that the Bible is not our history, that it's a so-called white man's book, and that, we crazy and all this type of stuff is because we're looking at what they call so-called prophecy, but these same individuals, they practice in voodoo, and they do the same thing that our ancestors was doing thousands of years ago. That's why we're in slavery today. They talking about that they talking to the ancestors and stuff like that, and we're gonna show you, brothers and sisters, more dealing with these lessons is that you ain't supposed to be doing nothing like that. So a lot of us is still into sorcery. We still into witchcraft. See, we still into those things, brothers and sisters, because look, this is a sickness to us. See? So it says, talking about Abram or Abraham, it says, and he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years, brothers and sisters. And what was Abraham talking about? What did the Creator reveal to Abraham? He was revealing to Abraham the situation that was going to happen to us during what you would call the transatlantic slave trade. But because we used to think that this was talking about Egypt, but we got to understand that we was in Egypt a long time before we became slaves, brothers and sisters. So this is not talking about the original Egypt that we was in slavery up under, and we was led out of the Creator from Moses or Moshe. This is talking about what? a new Egypt, brothers and sisters. See? Let's look at this. Let's turn to Deuteronomy 68. Deuteronomy 28 and 68, brothers and sisters. This is what this is. Then we're going to go back there and we're going to expound on that. Deuteronomy 28 and 68, brothers and sisters. It says, and Yah shall bring thee into Egypt again with what? With ships, brothers and sisters. This is talking about the transatlantic slave trade. Yeah, we was in slavery up under many nations. But this Egypt that is talking about is going to be an Egypt that we never knew about. And it says, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, and thou shalt see it no more again. Talk about we ain't going to see Africa no more. See? Or the northeastern side of Africa. Because that's where we come from. We come from the northeastern side of Africa. We're not going to see it no more. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondman and bondwomen. See? And that's what slavery was. We were sold unto these nations that they had an issue with you. See? They hated the fact that the Creator looked at you as the apple of his eye. See? And no man shall buy you, meaning that what? They're not gonna save you out of the condition that you see. The abolitionist movement. You had a group of so-called white folk. They didn't like the fact that people was doing certain things to so-called black. They didn't save you. The abolitionist movement that was created by so-called blacks and so-called whites in the country, they didn't save your behind. The Nation of Islam, see, which talked about a lot of stuff that was going on in the country that was deplorable to so-called black folks, and they talked about a lot of major issues that a lot of us wasn't talking about. They can't save you. See, Christianity is not gonna save you. Judaism ain't gonna save you. See, right? Islam ain't gonna save you, brothers and sisters. The NAACP, SNCC, the Urban League, operate Rainbow Push, that's not gonna save you. Because this whooping that the Creator is gonna put on you, the nations around the world is not going to be able to help you. It says, and Yah shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. What is the modern Egypt that we up under today? It's the European Common Market System, brothers and sisters. See? Headed up by who? America. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more. You're not going to see the country again. And there ye should be sold unto your enemies for bond men and bond women. That's slavery. See? Because you know in prison you got a what? You got a bond number. That's commerce. They make money off of you. They still doing it in slavery even to this day. If you break the law in the Constitution, it says that what? We're not gonna put you in slavery unless you break the law. So what is prison? Prison is slavery. And what do you have? You got a bond number. And that is used with your social security number and your birth certificate as a means of what? Commerce, y'all. See? And no man shall buy you. Ain't nobody gonna save you out of this condition. The only one that's gonna save you is the Creator. See? And if you're not gonna lean on the Creator, you ain't gonna be saved. That's as simple as it's gonna get. It says, and he said unto Abram, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. America is not ours. Europe, see, wherever the Creator has scattered us to, South America, North America, see, Europe, throughout the world, wherever we at, that's not your land. You're a stranger there. And it says, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. See, so 1619 to 2019 is what? 400 years, brothers and sisters. But we've been in slavery in the country for what? We've been in slavery under the Gentiles from 606 BC until, I believe, 1913 AD, right? I think that's all together. That's around. We've been in slavery in this and under the Gentiles for 2,500 years, brothers and sisters. We've been in slavery under the Gentile world power system for 2,500 and something years. And shall serve them, and they shall afflict them. What is that? That's slavery. They whipped your back. See? They whipped your back. They hung you on trees. They set up an educational system. They did what? It dehumanized you. They set up entertainment systems that dehumanize you. Some of the earliest cartoons that depicted so-called black folks, they had us depicted as what? Ooga booga. See? Big red lips, big eyes, and big noses. See? And they shall afflict them 400 years. See? So slavery is over with for us. 14. And also that nation whom they shall serve, I will judge. This is why the so-called white man is having problems all over. It's because the Creator has done what? The Creator has judged him. He's judging the European Common Market System, which is AKA the final leg of the Roman Empire, y'all, because we still in Rome. See? We still in Rome, brothers and sisters. So it says, and also that nation whom they shall serve, talking about the so-called black man, will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance. What is that? That's reparations. See? And what is the greatest substance that we're going to come out? We're going to come out with what? The knowledge itself. See? We ain't going to be sitting up here keep depending on the political system to do things for us that we should be doing for ourselves. We're not going to continue to look to the educational system to do things that we're supposed to be doing for ourselves. We're not going to look for the leadership and the health and all this type of stuff. See? That's reparation. Because why? Because the Creator is going to empower us. We got to understand that the 16th verse of the 12th chapter of the book of Revelation, when it's talking about the earth, is going to nourish the woman. That means what? That it's going to empower us. The Creator is empowered. He's saying that what? You Israel, see? Go forth. And I'm going to repay. So we don't have to be mad at the so-called white man. See? It's because the Creator said what? Vengeance is mine. And this is what's happening to the country. This is why these plagues are going on. It's because they set up a system to dehumanize us. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, this is part 2 of They didn't bring no negroes to America. Shalom Aleichem. Peace.